Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
We off? 30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes.
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz, spritz.
Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is indeed time for another slice
Of
Eejits of the World!
With you,
Glenn Wool and you,
Andrew Maxwell. And how many Eejits are there?
let me count the ways.
You inspire us, Eejits.
Yeah.
You're the wind beneath our wings.
Yeah, it's almost like there's so many this week. It's like in Ghostbusters when they don't understand why the trap's full. Like, there's so many ghosts. What the
hell's going on there?
Yeah, so there may be an uprising coming. We don't know, but there's certainly many sleeper cells have been exposing themselves.
Exactly. There's so many ghosts out there that have horrific stories of working with Bill Murray. I'd go through the walls and he'd be on the other side, smoking a fat one and being weird on set. Yeah. Apparently, did you know Bill Murray in Ghostbusters invented the expression, he's toast? Describing something is, I don't know what it is, linguistically I'm not great, but like a noun as in toast in the future tense to describe something in the future as a present tense thing.
He's toast, yeah.
Yeah. Nobody had ever said that before. Nobody had ever called somebody toast before.
Huh.
Yeah. And we have started Eejits of the World with a scintillating linguistic fact.
Yeah. Unprovable, but...
yeah. How long have we known each other? All my facts are largely unverifiable.
Yeah. It's almost like you... It's almost like you do it on purpose, but I know you don't.
I don't at all. It's just folklore. That's all it is, I look out to the skies and I think, what could be true?
Yeah.
And that's how you go about it.
Well, yeah, it's, they're amazing in their fluidity. Ungoogleable.
Yes, exactly. They're largely notional truths.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah. It's true as far as you look into it. That's
right.
If you want it to be true, it can be. But
most of my science is better with a fiddle playing in the background.
Yeah. It's sort of a Santa Claus truth. Like, well, were there presents under the tree? Well, yeah. And who do you think put them there? Well, I think...
Shut your mouth, boy. I might be full of mince pie, but I'll kick your ass. Why are we doing Santa jokes in the dead heat of the summer?
Because it's so hot that we're trying to wish winter onto us.
I'd just like an hour of winter, about between 2 and 4. It's been a hell of a heat wave.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of broke for the first. This is the first day that's just normal warm.
Yeah,
isn't it weird when that happens? When the spell of a heat wave finally cracks, and you think to yourself, what the fuck have I been wearing for a week?
Yeah. No pictures, please. No. Yeah.
I have flown to France and Spain and back in just a pair of swimming shorts. I've never sat on a plane in a pair of slip-on shoes and swimming shorts before.
Oh, come on. You haven't lived then.
That's very true. Well, not my own swimming shorts, of course.
Yeah.
The man who...
Yeah, a bikini doesn't count as swimming shorts, does it?
The man whose life I took over in the Côte d'Azur, his swimming shorts. Ooh, hot. Must be hot for you, being a bear and all that.
I know. Well, it was heaven and hell because it got so hot that I said I'm gonna get myself one of these portable air conditioning units.
Did you?
I did. And first of all, they're not.
Is that just a little boy fanning you?
No, that's a different guy. That's a different story. But it's, yeah, so it's not, you just think like, oh, it'll be easy. You just turn it on. It's not. There's like a big hose that you have to
one of those
set to it, and then you got to stick it out the window. But it's all for American windows. Ours sort of open at an angle, so you can't even like seal it properly. You just stick it and it's really hot. Like it would be funny if you could stick it into somebody's house in a heat wave. I prefer that. Like I'll get a long enough hose. Just oh sorry.
Oh man, you could just mug people with heat.
Yeah, come here.
That's what the hell it is. I saw it actually. I was just driving in the car this morning, and I saw one. Like it's like a kind of a tinfoily looking, quite large. I was thinking, why the hell is somebody sticking their Hoover?
That's
out
what
the
it
window?
looks like. That's what it looks like, and it fair enough. That's how it's got to be. But I didn't get the settings right on the first night, so I absolutely iced my room. Like I woke up shivering. So I didn't realize you could turn the temperature up and down. So I would just turn it off and then go back to sleep, and I'd wake up in like a tropical, oh my God. So I'd turn it back on. And this went on for like 6 or 7 times. Like I would get myself ice cold and then boiling hot and then ice cold again. So
living like the only man that's ever had malaria in Bergen, Norway.
I gave myself mechanical malaria. That's right.
Such a great album.
Oh, I know. I know.
Nobody listened to their second album, but Mechanical Malaria, that was the real stuff.
Yeah. They said they couldn't do it after Waters left the band, but did you hear Mechanical Malaria?
Oh, it's amazing. He did have a giant inflatable pig with Nazi symbols on it, but other than that, sure. Wow.
Oh,
It must
yeah.
have been terrifying. You must have had some of this very fevered dreams.
Yeah. It was like, like that's all that's, you are giving yourself a condition if you go to boiling hot to ice cold. Like,
Yeah. You're either making yourself super well or super unwell. I did it in Finland. Like, I had a Finnish mate called Jussi, and we were out at his mom and dad's house, and the Finns absolutely love a sauna.
oh, they love it. Any time of year, they'll do it.
So hot. We were in there, it was like 25 degrees. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but I think it was the other one. Whichever one's the hotter one.
Yeah.
It was, whatever it was, no, it was 90 degrees in the box, and it was 22 below outside.
That's how they do it.
And we'd go out, we'd boil ourselves, and basically we'd drink beers in there, and the beer would semi-boil within us, and then the beer would sweat out of us, and then we'd run out and just leap into 2-meter high stacks of snow, and you'd just hear a as you melted down to the permafrost.
Find a couple other frozen bodies. Oh, yes, we've been leaping in this for many years now.
That's where they went.
We found Jyrko.
I always wondered when my brother had got to.
Thought we didn't check.
He was a bit talkative. It's amazing.
Yeah.
They will out. Finns are wonderful people. They will outstare you.
Oh, yeah.
They are very happy in silence.
Yeah, did I tell you the time I was in? I don't know if I've mentioned on the podcast before, but it's one of my favorite moments of just being on the road. I was in Finland, in Helsinki, and a bus went by, like a regular bus, not like everybody knew each other or anything, but it was full, but not packed, just full. Everybody had a seat, but in just the whole bus, nobody had a smile on their face. It was just this stony, like, where is this bus going?
Yeah. Actually, to our theme park.
Yeah.
It is called Happy Land. You're going to Happy Land.
Yeah.
To smile.
Yeah, have a big smile and then make good memories.
Yeah. I'll come back to it. I'll come back in another couple of weeks' time. I'll tell you all about my adventures where I've been for this week. But one of the regulars where I was a Norwegian guy who I met on the first night, and his name is Turgay. Right? And, I thought, it was great. I had a good chat with him. Like, Norwegians are, like, slightly more enthusiastic Finns.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him for the rest of the week. And then last day, he was at the bar, and I went, "Oh, hi, Turgay." And he went, "How did you remember my name?" And I went, "It's pretty unusual, like." And he went, "Oh, yes." No, he went, must be something like 20 hours of darkness in the winter, 20 hours of sunshine in the summer. Like, sends you kind of screwy around the whole mind.
You want to talk about mechanical malaria? Yeah, malaria goes undiagnosed in Norway for many, many years. We all have the night sweats. What is?
That's not unusual. To sweat with terror. To imagine the night hawk is coming to get eyeballs out. But I love it. There's the most crazy one. I love those parts in really high north of Europe that still got some sort of weird monster. The Groganglip.
Yeah. That's usually it, and all of its killings sound very alcohol related. Yeah. The Groganglip can make you turn yellow and eat your liver out.
It only strikes 3 a.m. on Saturday.
That's when it's hungry.
Its bite marks look like the front of a Skoda. That's what has really baffled the police for over 100 years. How much its mouth looks like the chief of police was only saying the other day. It looks like one big long metal tooth. Totally baffling case. I had it the most. It was the proper one of the hottest days of the year. A couple of years back, one of my daughters is a summer baby, and it was actually eventually the day ended with it finally cracked and became this wild storm, and the gazebo got blown down the street. Oh, some of the most dangerous things in the world are a gazebo not put into the sand properly.
Yeah,
if they pick up, it's basically it's 5 spears. And a sail.
You talk to any witch, they will tell you. You can die. You can die if a house falls on you.
You talk to any witch. Call in, guys. We got a hell of a witch here. The wicked witch of the East. Answering any of your questions. Isn't that right, Marie? She's a little bit screwy, but she's straight evil.
She's just got herself one of those portable air conditioners, so she's all weird. She's spinny in the head. I don't know. She didn't get a great night's sleep, but...
I was last night. We were watching, weirdly, I'll come back to the thing about the heat wave in a second. We watched a thing, it was on YouTube. Me and the family watched a thing on YouTube about the dark side of the making of Wizard of Oz.
Lovely.
Wow.
Is that when they played the Dark Side of the Moon?
So in it, the conditions on the set were insanely bad, right?
Yeah.
The paint that painted the Wicked Witch green was poisonous.
Yeah, as was the metallic paint. It
On Tin Man, yeah.
Almost killed Buddy Ebsen.
That's right. Who was
Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Who was the granddad it was granddad, wasn't he?
No, he was the uncle.
The uncle, right? Yeah, he was originally the Tin Man. They painted him. It was aluminium.
Yeah,
and he was buggered.
Get him some asbestos for his eyes and paint his face with aluminium.
No, that's right. He was buggered for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
had these weird, and so he's off. Hers was copper, which copper has so many crazy properties, but one of them at frequency, strength, whatever the scientific term is, copper can be extremely poisonous.
Yeah,
it also can be extremely sanitary as well. But anyway, but it almost completely screwed her. She survived. In the the bit when they're going to the to Oz. And then the snow comes down, and they're catching it, and it's in their faces, and the snow. That was actual asbestos.
Yeah,
that's what was raining on them, was thousands of tons of asbestos. Right, it gets worse. Right, Louis B. Mayer, who's the head of the studio, she was Judy Garland was only 16 in the movie. But they...
well, it's not illegal, just unwise.
Yeah, well, quite. Well, quite. As R. Kelly's lawyer, I would like to say, Mr. Kelly, they kept telling her she was too fat. She's 16. She was on a diet. They would only let her... This is what her diet was. Chicken soup, cigarettes, and diet pills were the only things she was allowed to have.
Well, it sounds like me in London in the late 90s. And it works.
It doesn't. You've lived longer than her. You've lived longer than her. And it was insane. Just like...
Yeah.
But it was 1939. I mean...
It wasn't, a lot of people were having that for... that was a lot of people's diets in 1939.
But it does make you wonder what will, 40 years' time will transpire from all that fucking paint they've used for Barbie.
Yeah.
They've run out of paint.
Who?
The world.
What?
Because of the Barbie movie, they've used so much pink paint. There's a global pink paint shortage.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. They've used so much fucking pink paint making Barbie.
I think you have been sent... You were sent to the shop to buy pink paint. This is another one of your ungoogleable facts. Came back, he smelled like he'd had 3 beers, but he claimed he was at the shop. Honey, the goddamn fucking Barbie movie is... we can't get it.
Can't... Baby... I shouldn't have driven. I've got too much coffee in me. What I should have done is wrestle that man in B&Q. I should have. What I did was wrestle that man in B&Q.
Yeah.
I wrestled him to the floor, and I went, "Where's the pink paint?"
Only now do I realize he did not work there. He did not work there, but I'm sure if I go back tomorrow, the worldwide shortage will be amended, and
it'll be amended and comprehended.
It is.
This is the high summer. Anyway, so there's the astonishingly cruel world of show business. In the heat wave, this couple of years back, it was the hottest day of the year. It was properly hot, and it'd been, just ratcheting up, getting hotter and hotter and hotter. We were by the beach, and the water was flat. It was just delicious. It looks like you could have drank it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Bad idea.
Oh, terrible idea. It's a briny.
Any sailor will tell you.
Everybody will tell you the sea's a cruel mistress. Oh, that sea ring you on Christmas Day when you're with your family. Oh, leave me alone, you crazy ocean. Why do you go back to your husband, Billy?
Yeah. The sea. Look, ocean, there's no reason to talk to my wife. You don't need to. What could you possibly want to say to her?
Anyway, it was roasting, but the conditions were such that all the jellyfish came in.
Wow.
Yeah. It was the full moon as well. And it wasn't just, you know, the usual weird white disky one that you'll find on a British or Irish beach.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's probably, I don't know what you got in Western Canada. But this was like, it was the Glastonbury of jellyfish. There was like so many different types. I mean, they were all middle class, but there were so many different. But it was all these different jellyfish, like weird, different ones, big ones, small ones, purple ones, translucent ones, angry looking ones, loads of them, and they were like 2 meters from the shoreline in.
Wow.
So there was no way of getting in. I didn't have any craft, didn't have a vessel, but it was so hot that I just cracked and just did it and leapt into a sea that was crammed with jellyfish. It was, the sensation was, it was like leaping, it was like leaping into a nettle bush naked, but it had the sensation of leaping into a barrel of eyeballs. It was like nettly eyeballs.
Wow.
And then I had to stay out there long enough that the saline of the sea counteracted with the acidic of the.
I've had shows that felt like that.
Oh boy, I've had one recently.
A sea full of nettly eyeballs. You guys don't make a lot of sound, do you?
Well, no, I
hear the squish of the blinks.
The squish of the blinks. It's the best song on the album.
Mechanical malaria. The squish of the blinks.
Squish of the blinks. It's the one at the end of the album where they let the drummer sing. Come on, Ringo.
Yeah, the old Coke break in the live show.
That's probably what it was. Yeah. Okay, Ringo, time to shine. Myself and Paul will be back in about 20 minutes.
I got him up in a one-man band suit. Yeah, just get out. Yeah, walk around in there. Yeah. 20 minutes, buddy. You can do whatever you want.
Really? Knock yourself out, Ringo.
Yeah, we'll be watching just behind the curtain.
Boy, oh boy. Finally, my time to shine. Oh, well, that's the heat for you.
And if it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Oh, the humidity.
Yeah. And there we go. That's the heat. That's it.
Heat. That's
We're
it.
not talking about it anymore. If you're here for the heat talk, fuck off.
Fuck off. Why don't you just fuck off?
Yeah, just go.
You've had what you want from us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You wanted weather-based material that meandered through the world of Barbie.
And the Wizard of Oz came back. That's the second week in a row we spoke of the Wizard of Oz.
Did we?
Yeah, with the Dorothy Slippers last week.
Oh, that's right. But it is an amazing, amazing movie. And to know that what those, now eternal performers did to put that show on the road for us. I take my hat off to you all, but particularly you, Judy. Without you, we wouldn't have Liza.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's as close. That's what I can do for you, Pride Month, you know what I mean? I'm just a middle-aged straight man, but I did what I can.
Yeah. You.
It's to you, Judy, and Liza.
You made the day for of our LGBTQ listeners.
All for it.
They just cheers the air with a pretend martini. Thank you, Andrew.
Oh, you're very well. What is be going on in the world of the Eejit news?
Well, I mean, this one, in quite a shocking move on Saturday, the head of the Wagner Group, something...
Lovely bunch of fellas.
Yeah.
Very misunderstood.
Or I like to call them the Wagners. Make it sound like it was somebody down in the suburbs. What did the Wagners do now?
Apparently they were founded by Robert Wagner. Legendary 1980s television actor.
One hell of an eyebrow. That guy used that eyebrow to great effect.
Started off with Heart to Heart and ended up with ripping hearts out on YouTube. Yes, so yes, Yevgeny Prigozhin.
Yeah.
The monstrous, I mean, honestly, every time we can't, just when you think you've seen the ugliest bastard in the Kremlin outfit, they're like,
Yeah.
no, he was only medium ugly. Wait till you see this guy.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm wondering if that's what his big beef is Shogu is with. It's like, you know, I think that the baseline for being a Russian general is how much you look like a fish, and that's why him and Shogu do not get along, because they both have very legitimate claims to the title of looks most like a fish.
Yes, well, one of them looks freshwater and the other one looks seawater.
That's why they don't get along.
It's either that or they both want to steal the same money. Fucking hell. If you've never seen Yevgeny Prigozhin, the head of the Wagner Group, which is an international outfit of far-right mercenaries, fucking monsters. As we speak, they're pillaging over 10 countries across the Sahel region in Africa. They're raping and enslaving and imprisoning, and they hand out what was it? Novelty's not the right word. Specially embossed sledgehammers, because their favourite thing is crushing people's heads with sledgehammers.
Wow.
Yeah, and their logo's a W, but it's the most swastika-looking W you've ever seen.
Well, yeah, and you know,
But
I don't know if you know about Wagner. You know,
Yeah.
like many of those operas are like, and then the hook-nosed thieves came out of the ground and we had to quell them.
Very stirring music there. Yeah, exactly. But if you've ever seen Yevgeny Prigozhin, he looks like Nosferatu from the old black and white horror movies. He looks just like him, but Nosferatu that has won a hot dog eating contest at a county fair. He's a fat Dracula.
He looks like an orc that's being haunted by a human. He looks surprised at how ugly he is. Like he's always got that sort of, oh my God, can it get any worse? And then it did.
Yeah.
Then it did the next day.
Yeah. So so on Saturday, him and his mob of rabble of utter shitebags tried to overthrow Putin and his rabble of shitebags in Russia.
And did, like, they took Rostov, which is like
Million people.
million people, and also entirely necessary for the war in Ukraine.
From the Russian side.
Yeah,
it's their headquarters.
you can't restock, you can't do anything without Rostov, and he and this is what's pissed the Russian people off so much, because there is a defense force in Rostov that did fuck all, like
Nothing.
less than, like, hey guys, you know, what are you doing here? Thinking about going to Moscow. Well, can I get you anything? A Nosferatu? You want another hot dog?
Yes. Would you like one of my kidneys? Yeah, turns out, Russia's
You
not
want to shoot my wife? What do you like? Come on.
Throw me out window? Throw me in window. I don't... Whatever works for you. Yeah. 25,000 of his mob left fighting Ukraine and then invaded Russia. Looked like got, 200 kilometers from Moscow itself.
Yeah.
And then
They just stopped.
Stopped.
Yeah.
But honest.
Lukashenko called them.
Yes,
And,
the fat bastard
Yeah.
dictator of fucking Belarus.
Yeah, because the master strategist had managed to scurry onto his plane and fly to St. Petersburg. I've got big meeting. I can't stay in Moscow for this roving horde. It's okay. Kadyrov and his men are going to do it. They'll get rid of them.
Yes, terrifying Vladimir Putin. Me and all my looky-likes. All on one plane.
Every Vlad on the plane now. Come on, shove, 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 shove. All these different Vlads all around the Kremlin, whatever they were up to.
Coming out of cardboard. 20 Vladimir Putins, all on plane.
That is a tough ask for the stewardess. You don't know which one you have to be nice to.
You work out. Am I the bloody-minded monster that blew up housing buildings in Moscow to justify his genocidal war in Chechnya in the 90s? Or is it that one?
Yeah, or am I Jake, the guy who sells donuts down at the mall? Who knows?
Either way, I'm a very, very shit human.
Either way, I want Bloody Mary right now. Come on.
Bring her out. It's only in fucking Putin's Russia would Putin be overthrown by somebody even eviler.
Yeah.
These aren't good guys overthrowing the bad guys to stop the war in Ukraine. Prigozhin and the Wagnerites almost carried out a coup d'etat in protest that the Kremlin and Putin weren't being cruel and evil enough in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Fucking mind-blowing.
Well, I don't know if you were on Twitter at the time, but some of the theories of, there's just people that they've got to say the other thing, whatever's happening. Yeah. They're like, no, they're just trying to trick you. They haven't tricked me. I know what's going on. That is a CIA-backed black op. I'm like, mate, the CIA is not going to put Prigozhin and the fucking sledgehammers in charge.
They were a great soul band. Tight. Really tight.
Well, they actually played on Mechanical Malaria. A lot of people don't know that. They just changed the name of the band.
That's right. Prigozhin was so weird. Genuinely started off as a hot dog street salesman.
I know. And those hot dogs must be very good because they haven't killed him yet.
No, that's
Vlad's got one weakness. It's the way that man makes a hot dog. No, why can't anybody else do it?
You know what? Reason your hot dog shit, not made from orphan. Prigozhin's
It's
hot
the
dogs.
way Prigozhin sledgehammers the orphan to put him in tube. That's the way I like it.
The thing is, there's no level of evil shit at this stage out of these pair of fucks. It could very possible.
Yeah,
Very
and then
possible.
that's the problem that the stewardess has on the plane, because the weirder the Putins get, the weirder the thing they ask for is like, well, that's probably him. That's
Yeah. Yeah. He wants monkey to dance. But he says it has to be man dressed as monkey. But the man dressed as monkey has to be mentally ill and think he is monkey.
Would such a man be on the plane? I mean, this is the problem.
Look, check where luggage is. See if mentally ill monkey who is man dressed as monkey who thinks he is man. It's very, very specific, the president. And Lukashenko, if you've never seen him, it's like somebody's literally carved a moustache into an uncooked potato. He's the ugliest son of a bitches, like.
And the war has not helped these guys.
Oh.
They have not. None of them can't eat from the stress. A lot of them are munching on their feelings. Kadyrov, number one on the list of that.
Yeah, he's gonna pop that little fat monster.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. They were going to send Kadyrov and his men to fight Prigozhin. Come on. I could shoot Kadyrov from very far away.
Oh, of course. I mean, we discussed this in one of the previous episodes. It's not a problem shooting a blimp. Will he ignite over the airfield?
Well, it's all the other soldiers he'll knock out, squealing all around them.
Fucking hell. Yeah, well, there you go. Who knows? Like, I mean, how much shitter all of this is going to get. I mean, all you can ever do is just go, I wish both you the very best. I hope it goes all 12 rounds, boys.
I feel for the Ukrainians who are just like, what is fucking wrong with you? First of all, you're not supposed to be here. And second of all, what the fuck are you doing? Come back here and fight. You know, they've retaken Bakhmut in the weirdest sort of like, what? You just left to go to Moscow?
Yes, fight him. You, I don't really care about. Vodka is back in Moscow.
Like, how confusing is that for the Ukrainian fighters of Bakhmut? That took a year. A year of sending waves and waves and waves of Russian cannon fodder. Yeah. And then just to like, oh, Shogu, I don't like him. Come on, let's go, boys.
He got funny looking eye. Shogu give me side eye.
That's just the way he looks.
So many of these fucking monsters. Jesus wept. Fucking hell. Well, like I said, as always, Slav Ukraini. Hopefully there'll be some Russians left for them to fight. But I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's just and yeah, keep it up, boys. And this brief interlude is brought to you by fucking insanity. So just enjoy it for what it is. They'll be back in some form.
Who knows when they're gonna be back? Hopefully never.
Hopefully never.
Hopefully never. What else is going on in the news? Fucking whether we can top that for a level of political insanity.
Well, Boris Johnson is he's obviously out of office, but his peerages are now being looked at for a couple of shall we say inconsistencies. There's one woman, Charlotte Owens, who
29 or 30.
Yeah.
This is how little we know about her. We don't even know exactly when she's born.
Right.
So this is a 20, should be the youngest ever peer in the House of Lords. A life peer.
Yeah.
She'd be made
$300 a day. 300 quid a day for life.
For life. She was some sort of assistant in his administration.
Can you imagine, like, how rich your dad would have to be to pay that in alimony?
Yeah.
For child support? 300 quid a day?
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. So strange. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
You'd be lucky if your dad was able to do something like that. Because he probably, maybe he's like a famous guy and he doesn't want to, he can't, maybe he just doesn't remember that you're his daughter or whatever, what have you. He can't remember your mom's name.
Ipso facto, tempus lampus. Fuck.
Something's happened and he's managed to set this little thing up for you.
I think, no, it's not only hers, but there was other people who were in his inner circle have all been given life peerages. And I think what it is these are people who have been around Alistair Boris the Pfeffel Johnson for a long time. And they're literally the only people that have the capacity when he starts just guffing on in a bit of supermarket Latin. You know what I mean? Tempus fugit, carpe diem. Just can hold in the desire to just shut the fuck up, come. Fuck off, come.
Yeah, just order. Please, just order in English, Boris. Please.
29. She's going to be in the House of Lords for the rest of her life. It's just the system's mental. It doesn't matter when you stop becoming British Prime Minister, for whatever reason, you get to pick loads of people that you can just lavish gifts on.
Yeah.
Whereas what should happen is when you win being the Prime Minister, you should be able to lavish gifts on people. And if you turn out to be an utterly shy Prime Minister, those gifts should be rescinded.
Yeah.
Does that not make sense?
It does make sense, but here's the thing. She does have to now go into the House of Lords every day and be stared at by a bunch of dudes who...
Very old men. I do you know this about 90-year-old men who were taken from the breast of the mother at 8, sent to live in a boarding school with many other very deeply frustrated boys. We'll come away from girls. I can smell her.
I can't.
Well, I can tell you for one thing. She has not been kissed by the menopause yet. There is a fertile woman in the chamber. Black Rod, do your bidding.
Yes, my lord.
He was the one that was in that long shot in the coronation. Americans freaked out and they thought it was death. Do you remember that?
There's a very thin man with a cane and a cloak, just spooking around Westminster Abbey. I will find the living and I will curse them.
Yes, 29, you say.
A bit old.
Have you been blooded at the hunt yet? I'm sorry? The hunt! They blooded you. I used to be a circuit court judge, you know. I've seen it all. But never a woman who is still within season. Here in the chamber.
Let me sniff you. Come closer.
Well, I mean, I can't personally sniff you.
Sniffer!
Bring the sniffer! It's a small Welshman. My lords, you want some sniffing then? Yes, Gilbert. Sniffer. And then with these crayons, tell me what it feels.
Every day for the rest of her life.
Better be...
Hi, Gilbert. Somebody else need to be sniffed.
Sorry about this, Charlotte. You've got the sharpest nose in the valley.
Got to 50 years from now, and she's like, Gilbert! Sniff! Sniff it! There's a new one!
I have no intention of living in the chamber. Many of us just go into the wood paneling. Explains why the whole building looks like a coffin on the inside. We're just interned in the walls with little peekaboo. You can glance out at the young and the beautiful and the closely related to the Prime Minister. Well, I think we had an absolute crack at that, considering there's a super injunction over it.
Yeah, I think we got around it. I don't think anybody managed to pick up what we were throwing.
Well, there you go. Well, good luck to you. I say, long live nepotism.
Long live it. And especially for somebody who's been thrown out for lying and cheating. God bless, the last... He couldn't even leave without, like, a little fucking fiddle of the rules. He's like, I'm sorry, this is... it's because I'm a scorpion. Sting!
What can I do? Tempest Fugit. So crap. He's so shit.
Yeah. And he's going to go now make much more doing basically stand-up for after-dinner speakers.
For a businessman.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be any weirder. Remember, CBI, This is the top sort of business lobby.
Yeah.
Prime Minister just starts rattling on about Peppa Pig. You can see these just billionaires just go, oh God, our investments are screwed.
Yeah.
I'll tell the mistress it's over. It's like it's just going to be me, the wife, and the kids in Richmond from now on. 10 businessmen. Looks like I'm going to have to take up cycling with the other middle-aged men. Well, there you go. Well, hooray for the quirky traditions of British democracy.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Our next batch, I don't know if you're familiar with the North American sports idea of an all-star game. And that's where all the best, all of the most significant players, they all get put onto one team and make up like a... Well, America's been doing that with their Eejits.
Really?
Oh, yes. It's like the Avengers or something. Where Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, now there's a terrible twosome right there. They've joined forces with RFK, and then you're thinking, oh, wow. You
Back
gotta
from the
add a
break.
few letters.
Oh, Junior. You know,
the one that when RFK got shot, his mother gave him away. It was the only child she did that to. The rest of them were allowed to stay in the house. But he was given up for adoption as if, like, that was the one thing keeping him in the house. Like, well, Dad says I'm allowed. Not anymore, Robbie.
fuck. Can't you Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy, and then that's your fucking son.
Yeah.
Fuck. You know when
And
they say
he
the
looks-
apple doesn't fall far from the tree? Sometimes before it lands, it's kicked. It's kicked into a thorn bush full of stupids.
But it looks like him. Can you imagine that too? If that was your son, and he looked exactly like him, like, yes, son, go tell everybody about the vaccines. I'm sure.
And he's all jacked up as well.
I know.
So what? He's gonna be like 70, and he looks. There was a shot of him I saw the other day, and he's all. He looks like he had his top off. He looks like a brown condom filled with walnuts.
Yeah,
He's all like,
yeah. It'll be human growth. He says it's testosterone, but that's HGH.
whatever the hell it is. It hasn't expanded his brain. It might have added a bit of water to it.
It may be swelling his brain. Yeah, it's swollen his brain so much his voice doesn't work properly anymore.
Dumb fuck. He's on Joe Rogan on Joe Rogan's pod, the biggest pod in the world.
Yes.
I have to say, just full disclosure, I knew Joe years ago. He helped me get gigs out in Hollywood. I found him extremely friendly and generous. As a person, I haven't seen him in absolutely donkey's years, but there's some of the fuckwits he has on his pod, like.
Yeah.
I mean, RFK was on there last Junior. Got to keep saying Junior.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kennedys will sue over that, actually. There's never been a larger JR written on any sort of, family, they only call him Junior. They do not, not the airport, the different one.
Nobody's naming an airport after him. Well, maybe something outside Tulsa. Maybe something on a res outside Tulsa that he's bought for $20 in chips. Just walk straight out from the roulette table.
Yeah, he had it. Yeah, he started with 10,000 down to 20.
He's a genius. He knows the science. Yeah, he said that, yeah, apparently. Yeah, he was on there going something about Wi-Fi does something to your brain. I go, yeah, connects you to the internet. And then you sit there scrolling through horse shit for hours, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Then there was more, wasn't it? There was more of that. Elon Musk is joining in with it.
They want him to have a debate with an epidemiologist, a virologist. I can't remember exactly, but somebody that should be talking about vaccines. And somebody who has, but realizes that you can't win a science fight.
Science! This weekend, if you're monster trucks of science. Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's not even all of it, is it? Elon Musk this week.
Yeah, Elon Musk. So, he's put himself into the frame of this, going, well, I think this would be interesting. Fucking hell. What would be interesting to see those? Like, I'd listen to one of them, but,
Listen to one of them. Like, whoever the virologist they get, they'll have been at that for like 40 years. In a top university, publishing papers in the field and that.
Yeah.
Basically doing homework. It'll be basically Lisa Simpson going up against Nelson Muntz.
Well, and this is what I thought he should have done, the virologist, because they said, no time limit. You come on, you talk about it. What he should have done is gone on and brought a big medical paper and went, okay, we're all going to read it. And then you write down what's wrong about it.
That's right. Like you said, no time limit.
Yeah, if you do, just read this, no time limit. Okay, well, now read this.
Yeah. It's a good 5,000 pages long, but that's,
it's going to take me about 3 hours. Joe? You might want to get yourself another bit of bull semen or whatever it is you do to get your neck like that. But you're going to use every fucking neck muscle in your head trying to read this paper.
So ridiculous. And then, there was something else with Elon Musk this week, wasn't he?
It wasn't enough that he tried to have a science fight. He tried to have a real fight with Mark Zuckerberg in an octagon, like a cage fight. Now, first of all, I don't think his face can fit in an octagon. And second of all, Mark Zuckerberg has been winning jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Against other nerds.
It doesn't matter. That's not something Elon Musk has been doing.
Also, has he? I mean, hi, I'm a billionaire. Want to fight me in this gym on Tuesday? We're going to stream it on my new service.
Well,
all right, I fight you, but I'm kind of behind on rent right now. Oh, I've got a spare house in Marin County.
Yeah, it's possible, but I'm pretty sure that they looked into it, because in the end, Elon Musk's mom stepped in and said he wasn't allowed to fight.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous.
And the amount of power this man held, I'm starting to miss William Randolph Hearst. At least it wasn't,
Exactly.
He wasn't rolling around on the floor in an octagon. He probably was. But at least he had the good sense not to do it in public. It wasn't the head of the sports pages every day in his newspapers. Who else will I be pointing my shotgun at this weekend?
So stupid. Fucking hell. There's just a level of too much money, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yep. There certainly is.
Yeah, and what is this new fascination of? It's so high school. It's just fight.
The guys who are chanting fight weren't in the laboratory. just a guy just at a Bunsen burner. Another guy just peering at a pipette tube, trying to isolate that virus. Next thing, hearing from outside in the playground, fight. Just scientists smashing test tubes, ripping off white coats. Just going out there and flying, kicking people. This is the real science. X and Y, my fists.
Yeah, you guys messing with the Pyrex boys? Yeah, we're fascinated by two nerds that we're about to fight. That isn't even high school.
So great that one of their nerds stepped in. But also super shitty for Zuck, like, that his mum didn't care. Mark, fight all you want. At least you're more emotional than your father. Get screwed up. Do I care? I don't care. You've lost all the value of your company, turning it into little wee men. You know they did it before with the tennis? With the Wii? That's what you spent your billions on, Mark. You little legless floating men in space. Nobody wants it. He's wiped like 80% of the value off the fucking company.
Really?
Yeah. On whatever it is. What I don't even fucking Meta, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it.
Yeah, wow.
Who the hell wants, like, to put on a big set of goggles and live inside Facebook?
Somebody that has dead, cold, non-human eyes. Would that be the kind of person who'd want everybody to start wearing goggles so that nobody saw each other's eyes? Hey, I got an idea. Let's just fuck off the idea of eyes. I mean, why do we even need to see anybody's eyes? It's not like you can't prove someone's a demon just by looking in their eyes, can you?
Who needs eye contact anyway?
Not Elon.
No. Jesus, just get 10 minutes outside, Elon. He is pasty.
Yeah.
Just sit outside for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
get
like,
off Twitter.
Yeah, just get off Twitter for like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only, there's just dogs running in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we say.
Yeah.
What we say is...
We're calling out Elon. We're calling him out. Outside. We're calling him outside. Yeah. Elon.
Every single billionaire needs to stop playing with their money and just get outside and go for a nice walk.
Yeah.
You know what? Because a good walk is priceless. You can't buy that. There's two things you can't buy. Love and a good walk.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well said.
Thank you.
Well, you said it.
I would like to end with just, this is so wonderful. In the world that we've just been discussing, just one piece of ridiculous hubris after another. Putin and Fat Dracula and bent Tory former prime ministers and the squalid sons of American Democratic legends and billionaire tech fools. There is such a wonderful thing. Now, there's a guy, for those who are not fans of basketball, a guy called Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, we spoke of him a few episodes ago.
Yeah, wonderful. He's won. They won.
Best basketball player in the world.
Yeah, and he's 7 foot something. He has absolutely no definition to him at all. And he won MVP last year, most valuable player in the NBA, and has done that again, and is pretty. I mean, the rest of the team, there's some decent players, around him, but it's undoubted. Like, they'll give you the idea. I'm not a huge fan of basketball, but this playoff finals with Nikola Jokic and the playoff finals maybe 10, 15 years ago with MJ, with Michael Jordan, when he won the title for the 6th time against the Sonics, are the only time I've ever watched all the games of the NBA finals, because I could see I was watching a genuine sporting legend in their pomp.
Yeah.
Amazing. So great. At the end of it, he wins it, and he's just couldn't give a fuck. So wonderful. So wonderful.
Yeah.
At the end of it, he's the press conference, and he's just sat there And it's just him, the greatest player in the world, by far one of the biggest sports in the world, like truly.
Oh, yeah.
Truly.
Weirdly big in a host of countries, from the Philippines to Lithuania. It's the main thing. China's huge.
Absolutely huge.
Yeah, I was in China for the NBA Finals when the Raptors were in it, and I ended up having to watch it on people's phones over their shoulder.
Just what's we the North doing?
Well, it was sort of weird for them because they could kind of notice I was Canadian. You know, and if you're in China watching a Canadian basketball team and a Canadian just shows up, hey, you don't mind if I okay, yeah, just hold it like that.
Kind of could tell you're Canadian. Which one of the many maple leaves you had sewn onto every item of your clothing?
Look, what I would do is I'd slip 2 loonies in their pocket and go, hey, pay for the data with those, right? I'm going to watch this goddamn game and you're going to be quiet about it, all right?
Right.
Okay.
I'd be pretty much the only guy right there in the Forbidden City in a kayak.
I'll put these in your pocket or I'll put you in my pocket. Which, you choose, you know. The silver or the lead, which you like.
Oh, you like it.
Silver or the lint.
Silver or the lint. Because we're dirty people in Canada. You know, we jerk off trees and then we use their tree cum for breakfast.
Oh, you better believe it. Yeah. You want to be in that guy's pocket? You know you don't.
Just take the loony and run.
Take the loony, leave the phone. I will be here when you return.
Right. I'm going nowhere with your phone, buddy. You have my word. As Justin Trudeau's only true friend. A mirror. Oh, fuck. Yeah. But at the end of it, it was just life affirming. He's there and he's been interviewed. He's basically the champ of the world in the world of big bouncy balls.
Yeah.
And the excited journalist off camera goes, "Are you looking forward to the parade?" And Djokovic's face, which is already, you know, he's Serbian, so they're again not one of the great smiling nations.
No.
You know, these are Balkan Slavic people. Like they've been through you know what I mean? Any of the lads out of that part of the world, they're pretty stern. And he just looks at him and goes, "What? The parade? Are you looking forward to the victory parade?" Because the team he plays for, Denver Nuggets, have like never even been to the playoff finals, let alone ever won in 40 years or something.
Yeah.
Right? And he just looks crestfallen, turns to somebody who's also off camera, which is, you know, clearly the manager or whatever, the coach, the owner of the club, and goes, "When is parade?" And he looks back and the journalist goes, "It's Thursday." And he just goes, "Oh my God." Just rubs the bridge of his nose with his 2 hands, you know, like a detective who's thought he'd cracked the case. But then it turns out his prime suspect is the next victim. You know, he looks like he's about to open a bottle of whiskey from a filing cabinet. And he just goes, "I have to go home." So awesome. So wonderful.
Well, I know exactly how he feels, and I felt that way when I lived in America. I was like, when do you people stop being so fucking excited? It's like living in a goddamn amusement park. Everything is just, yeah!
There's a lot. They do have a very high ratio of sugar to blood.
Yeah, but if you were from Kansas and anybody said, "Is anyone here from Kansas?" I would just raise my hand. I wouldn't fire my revolvers into the air. That's a word I recognize.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great song, but I don't think there's a lot to be said about Wichita. I am the lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, sitting in the sun under the overload, and I need you more than want you. and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line.
Yellow.
Hot People Productions, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Eejits of the World.
We salute you.
We salute you.